Have you ever heard of the paralysis of analysis? If not, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about it in this video and also sharing with you 4 steps that I believe will be helpful in you overcoming it. And stick around for especially step number 4 because I think that one will surprise you. So the paralysis of analysis is basically when you get caught in the trap of over preparation. If that's a word. I think over preparation is a word, or over preparing is a word. So I talked about overthinking in a recent video, but this one, it's closely related to overthinking, but this is usually targeted around something more specific. So you have a business idea or something that you want to try, maybe it's starting YouTube, starting a new business venture, and you get so caught up in the research phase of it, in the preparation phase, which is actually very good. It's something that you should do. Take the time to research, buy equipment, study out stuff so that you don't end up making the same mistakes that people have made or reinventing the wheel. But people that get caught in the paralysis of analysis never actually make it to the step of execution. That is where the problem lies. So you see what you need to do, you have an idea of what you need to do, you are doing the preparation, which is all good, but you don't actually execute. And I think many of you are watching right now and you have some excellent business ideas. You probably want to start YouTube, you want to get into entrepreneurship, and you're attending all sorts of seminars, all sorts of stuff. You are being saturated with information, but you are not executing, and that is dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be. So the first thing I wanted to know as you try to combat this temptation of getting stuck in the paralysis of analysis is you're not going to be good at the start. That is a bit debatable because it depends on what it is that you're going to do. And you can hit the ground running and be excellent with some things. But I'm talking about, especially if it's something new, like a new business venture, you're starting a new business, you're trying to build a platform, like for example for YouTube. I know many people are not comfortable with talking to a camera like what I'm doing now, and even hearing themselves talk, and it's okay. I think knowing that you're not going to be good at the start is pretty comforting, and it will also push you to now want to improve and get better, so you don't have to dread as much sitting and looking at a camera or hearing yourself whenever you're editing. Because those of us that edit our own videos know that, especially in the early parts of the process of filming content and having to sit and hear yourself while you're cutting out stuff and hearing the mistakes happening over and over, it's like torture. So knowing that you're not going to be good at something new that you're starting, it will help you to not dread actually jumping in and getting started as much. The second thing is that it's okay to feel under-equipped, because especially with going into new business, depending on the amount of capital that you have, there are just going to be certain things that other startups, other companies have that your company is not gonna have. And I'm going to be using my YouTube journey as a reference point throughout this video, because you guys can go back and watch my very first video, but nothing impressive. And I've tried to make slight improvements throughout the life cycle of my channel so far, you know, getting a little bit of camera, a little bit of lighting, a little bit of sound. But I did not feel equipped, you know, I didn't have the fancy lights or any of that stuff. I just had a camcorder, some natural light, and just got started. So recognizing that you're likely not going to have everything that you believe that you need, and that is one of the things that gets a lot of people stuck, because there is always going to be a better camera, there's always going to be a better mic, there's always going to be a better piece of software that you could buy. But if you keep buying all of this stuff and doing all of this preparation, and you don't just jump in recognizing that nothing is wrong with starting under-equipped, as long as you commit to improving and growing and becoming better over time, that will help you in learning. Because if you are going into a new business opportunity, a new venture, and you believe that you know everything, there is not going to be any capacity for you to grow. So it's okay. Start. If you have a business or an idea, YouTube or whatever it is that you want to get started, and you are stuck right now because you feel like you are not equipped enough, guys, even people that have been doing many of the things that you see them doing for many years, they still feel like they are under-equipped, and that's okay, because there is always going to be room for improvement. Tip number 3, you will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will have failures, roadblocks, shortcomings, disasters might happen, whatever. And you cannot necessarily prepare for all of those. The unexpected will happen sometimes. And it's good that you desire to take the time to prepare properly. What they say, if you fail to prepare, you will fail to prepare. But if you...
Somebody come and look at this.
How's that? How does that go again? Somebody can probably remind me of that in the comments. But it's just the idea of there is great value in you taking time to prepare, but it's also possible for you to over prepare and over analyze, and that is the danger that we run when we fall into the paralysis of analysis. Because I know many people are perfectionists, and it's really a struggle for some people to go into things knowing that there's a possibility that they might make mistakes, they're gonna mess it up, they might have failures. But I believe that we learn way more from failing and making mistakes than if we just are always winning, things are always going perfect, etc. Alright? The fourth and final thing, and I think this one will surprise you. The fourth and final thing is, you see, when you push through those initial moments of fear and worrying about making mistakes and being under-equipped, or whether you'll be good at this thing from the start, it will be fun. Because I believe many of you have some amazing ideas right now that you are thinking could be a source of great impact and change for our world. And you kind of have been sitting on it and worried about it, worried about what people will think, who will support you and all of that kind of thing. You don't want to look back 5 to 10 years from now saying that you wish that you had started. I'd prefer that you jump in, you give it a shot, and if it fails, it will give you an opportunity to learn, and you can adjust and go back to the drawing board and try again. Whatever it is that you have in your mind, that you have allowed yourself to become stuck in the paralysis of analysis, I believe that if you are convinced that this is something that you believe in, once you get started, it's going to be fun, and you're going to wonder why you didn't get started with this. Because I've had so much fun, guys, building this YouTube channel, and I'm not even focused on the views and the subscriber counts. I know all of those things are important if I want to eventually get monetized and all that, but I have so much fun doing this, and I was stuck in my head for years. I think at the start of the pandemic back in 2012.
I beg your pardon?
Back in 2020, I thought about getting started with a YouTube channel. And I was watching channel makers, vidIQ, Think Media, all of those YouTube channels that talk about getting started with YouTube. And I've been taking notes, writing down video ideas, all of this stuff. And I just never sat down and just hit record. Because I think partly because I didn't really have a why, and I share my story about why I got started with YouTube in my very first video, and you guys can check that out. I'll link that video in the description. But comments like this one that I got on a recent video that I made about commitment versus motivation, this is why I do what I do. And these kind of comments just affirm the idea that I have in my mind. Like, I want to just make an impact, encourage somebody. If there's one person that can walk away from one of my videos feeling encouraged, a little bit empowered, their spirit a bit lifted from a bad day or a bad situation, it makes all of the memes, all of the videos, all of the hours of editing, all of that stuff, everything is worth it. And I believe that some of you are watching this video today and you have a similar concept or a frame of mind for why you want to start YouTube or start that business. And I am telling you, try to implement these 4 things in your life, knowing that when you get started, it's going to be fun. And it will be you stepping into purpose and doing things that probably you were meant to be doing for years now, but you have just been stuck because you have been in your head about it too much. So thanks so much for checking this video out. If this video was helpful, check out some of my other content, like the video, consider subscribing, and leave me a comment as well. Let me know if the paralysis of analysis is something that you have heard of or thought of before, or you are probably in it right now and are thinking about overcoming or stepping out of this and chasing after your dreams. Let me know, and we can help each other and encourage each other down in the comments. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.